Please join me in welcoming Maaria Mozaffar, our guest speaker.
Wow, such dynamic speakers. This is a lot of pressure. And the energy is electric in this room. It's fantastic. First of all, I'd like to thank you, the Institute for creating this environment for me to be a part of this morning. I think what you're doing is so new, so innovative, and I think it's time that women create an institution for women where we can reach local communities and global communities. So I thank you, and I thank Tanisha for spearheading this, because her energy is also electric, and I think it really speaks to the whole theme of this morning's breakfast. So, as you heard from Tanisha, my name is Maaria Mozaffar. I'm an attorney by trade. I have spent a lot of time with lawyers. I don't really socialize with lawyers, but I am a lawyer, so that tells you a lot. I have spent a lot of time in Springfield, also, knocking on legislators' doors, hoping that somebody would open their door and tell me why there's no grocery stores in the inner cities. I was hoping that legislators would answer the question and help me advocate for individuals who needed drug treatment instead of incarceration. I don't live in the inner city. I did not grow up in the United States. I grew up in the Middle East. I live in Naperville. But the issues that I advocate for and I'm passionate for, I believe in because it just has to be done. And I feel the energy in this room resonates with that. Things just have to be done. They're not someone else's responsibility. And Tanisha also stated, I think that's what's on the program, that I am the founder of the SkinLess Project. I launched the SkinLess Project, tagline, "We are more than skin deep," to help women reach their highest potential personally and professionally. Now, why did I do that? Well, in all the communities that I've worked in all the countries that I've traveled in, and all the amazing different opportunities I've had thus far in my life, I kept seeing amazing women. Amazing, powerful women making contributions. But a lot of the times, when I would attend press conferences, boardroom meetings, somehow all the women that were doing all the work were not there. You know, I kind of share this on my website in a story where I was looking for a birthday cake for my daughter, and she likes Toy Story, and I couldn't find a birthday cake with Jessie. Even though, if you remember Toy Story, Jessie was a very dominant character. I could not find a cake with Jessie, so we had to go with Mickey Mouse, which she's not even really remotely interested in. So I kept finding this theme, and I also kept realizing, because I also do mediations in my legal practice, and I've been lucky enough to mediate divorce. I'm being very, very sarcastic. But I also see in those scenes powerful, amazing women, but when you get them in the room with the person they're in a relationship with, it's like they're a different person. So why is it that all these powerful women are doing these things, but not a lot of them are being recognized, and the same powerful women that are living external lives are not powerful at home? And I wanted to create a network to help women reach their potential by the help of other women who had that strength and vision. You know, it's interesting how we learn about history. When we learn about centuries past, we are not there. We are so far removed that we don't even have relatives or personal connections, but by virtue of reading history books and looking at images, we believe that we know what the truth is in that historical period of time. So what we realize is that we learn history through images and through narratives of what other people have decided to share and tell. So let's talk about the Renaissance. We're talking about 12 to 1700s. We have a complete influx of artistic expression. We have drama. We have painting. We have love. We have poetry. And it's an amazing time where there are relationships that are celebrated and written about that involve men and women. There's a lot of beautiful masterpieces where women are the objects of the painting. And the term that coins the whole Renaissance age is the Renaissance man. The Renaissance man. You know, that's what the Renaissance was about. It was about Leonardo da Vinci. It was about Michelangelo. And then there was Mona Lisa, who we don't know all about. She's not really smiling in the picture. But she's celebrated for that okay kind of day she was having that day. You know? So what you learn is somehow the narrative has completely subtracted the women in that time. Now, in that time of artistic expression, we are all women. Do you really believe women were not contributing to that scene? That the Renaissance man is the only thing we remember for that age? Let's move on to the Industrial Revolution, because we're talking about the West and the West right now. Let's talk about the sweep of the Industrial Revolution. We're talking about 1715 to 1850. And there's a sweep going on in Europe, North America, and Japan. And there's new ways of doing things. There's an interest of how we can do things better, technology. We've come through the scientific revolution. And again, we have inventors. We have these amazing people. We have Thomas Edison. And we are surprised by how much intrigue and intellect there is. And again, if you look at the images of history, you see men in those photos. The women were there, but the photos are of men. Now, I'm not saying there weren't a few women here and there that were not celebrated and did something unique, but I refuse to believe that they were the only ones. Now, we can say, you know, they were not as educated as we are now. They didn't have opportunities, but a lot of these women did have wealth, but they were still absent from the narratives. Now we go into the 1920s. Women get the right to vote. Fantastic achievement. A woman runs for vice president, not very long ago. And then a woman runs for president. Now, I am not minimizing these landmark movements. I think they're fantastic. But I think as women, we really need to critically understand why in the 1920s did we finally decide that this is the time where we need to have our voices heard. And what I call this, and what I feel the culprit here, is the